Sorry, which is the team that Randler, Xanox, and 213 are on, is going to face off against a new team in Europe, at least a new kind of collection of players in Europe, not new players necessarily, but that's going to be Nye, the EVA player that has played sometimes in the North American region.
Yep.
It's going to be Jolts, who used to be on Bruce Lee, the Esmo legend, has now moved on. Jolts and the one and only Stro, the Time Bender.
The North American old door player.
Yes.
That went neck and neck. I guess not neck and neck. More like arm in arm with a verse.
Yeah. Locked
and took tournament after tournament.
As they strode their way to victory.
As they strode their way. Oh, God. We're the worst. Turn off the broadcast.
That's what caffeine does to you.
That's the you didn't even have any caffeine.
Well, you were the one that said the pun.
True. When you said it, I just noticed it.
Oh, that's
so a lot of roster switching going on. As I'm sure you figured out, Jolts is no longer on Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty big deal.
And Bruce Lee is still chugging. Bruce Lee is still chugging.
They do still exist.
And their team comp, you might be wondering, is going to be Condemned, of course, and Clerney, of course. But their third player is a Verse from North America.
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. Wait, what?
But they got wrecked. They got wrecked by, I believe, Aokas, Corrupted, and Lumi. Oh my God, there's just so many interesting things that are happening in the European region, and this
it's broken.
headset
I can't move it.
It's borked it. You borked it?
I borked it.
You borked it. Try again.
I'm trying again. All right. Sorry, I didn't get to check up. So they lost?
They lost.
So they're out.
Yep.
That's kind of insane. All right, so Bruce Lee out. You know who else out?
Project Horizon.
Project Horizon got knocked out.
Got dunked, and of course that's going to be Blanks, Hot Biscuit, and Woozak after 213 departed their lineup. And they lost to Intolerant, the team that we just mentioned, the new team, Nye, Joltsy, and Stro. So, lots of fantastic stories. And we're going to dive right into the first match, and that's going to be Intolerant's first broadcasted match here. I'm really excited to see what they offer. And then they're going up against MyCon, Broken Comp, sorry. So that's going to be Xanox, 213, and Randler. So many, oh God, they're
oh, everyone's leaving.
Oh God.
Oh, they're going to
This is exactly like when I tried to organize my birthday party in middle school.
I have a feeling you're really not joking about that.
I was ready to go, and everybody was just gone.
Everybody was already gone. They showed up.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, they were all gone.
Yep.
They realized. They're like, we're gonna go to this guy's party. We feel bad. Oh, we regret this immediately.
We regret this immediately.
We're leaving.
Let's
I think that's worse than no one showing up.
Yeah.
Because at least if no one showed up, you could just
you
could make up excuses in your head. You're like, oh, maybe they just forgot, or maybe they do just think I smell weird. Who knows? But like, if they show up, if they drive all the way there and then they leave, that means they made the conscious decision to give up on you.
Yeah.
Nearly immediately.
Like,
yeah, I'd rather no one show up.
There's no hope.
I just don't invite people so I don't ever get crushed.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
That's the lesson that I learned eventually, and then I embraced my loneliness.
You just stay alone.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have to worry about
problem.
I don't get turned down because I never give anyone the opportunity to turn me down.
The human imagination is fantastic. You can just imagine yourself to be whatever person you want, and as long as you're alone, nobody can deny you that.
Who do you imagine yourself to be? I
imagine myself to be a skeleton flying through the skies on the back of a unicorn. I don't know.
Wow, that was actually horrible. There's many other things that you could have.
I mean, that's just a testament to the possibilities that are available to you. You could be anything.
That's the least creative possibility.
You could be a turtle that burrows into the ground and crawls like a mole.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking a burrowing turtle that makes whale sounds. Imagine how alarming that would be. You're sleeping at night, and underneath your house you hear like a whale, but it's just a burrowing turtle.
Whales just make that weird, echoey, high-pitched noise, right?
That
woo, 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 woo thing.
That's not a whale sound. Dude.
What is a whale sound?
It's like really deep and loud.
Really?
Yeah, you're thinking dolphins?
No, dolphins are like or something like that. Right?
Yeah, that was spotless.
That
was spot on, dude. I can't believe you.
So I just remember the question. What did we ever find out what noises giraffes make?
Oh, no one ever told us what noises giraffes make. Does anyone know?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, as these players get their new lobbies ready and get set to go into game.
Yeah, sorry about that. We got wrecked. we got wrecked in lobby, which is why you had to hear that stupid conversation.
I actually am, just getting back on track here, I'm actually really curious to see how this new lineup will run. Oh, interesting. They're going to be using their subs, so it's a 4-person lineup. All 4 individuals on a team of Intolerant is going to be Nai, Jolts, Iska is the additional player that we didn't mention, and then Stro is on that team as well. So they're going to actually be running with Iska right now, but they have the option to throw in Stro. 4 players. We allow a team of in 3v3 to have 4 players, 3 players and 1 sub, and you can utilize them however you want. And then when we did run 2v2s, we would allow teams to go up to 3 people, 2 players and 1 sub. So they're able to swap that out. So they're going to actually be running with Iska, and then of course Randler, 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and Xanox. Interesting composition from them. Bako, Varesh, Lucy, which might be the first Varesh comp that we see in a balanced balanced composition rather than going ranged heavy.
That is very true. Xanox is going to try and get that battleship position immediately. He will get bolted, but it's not going to matter. Randler's going to heal him right back up. Spellback happens. 2-1-3 is going to go right in. He's going to try and take Rook down. Jolt's got to be careful. There comes the counter. It does not get procced. He's going to rush back in. But as we see, Xanox not budging at all. He's just posting up ship, but he's got to be careful. They're hunting him down.
The bouncing taser is going to stun too, and that's going to give some pressure over to MyCon, or sorry, over to Intolerant. I think the names are Flippity Floppity. But Petrify coming out from Randler, lands onto Nai, and so far Jolts is actually getting pretty low. But a big connection onto Xanox, and this might turn into something big. Getting cooked!
Oh man, you cannot counter that. So, no, ripping through both the channeled abilities. You can't counter it. You can try and R out, but once it's down, there's an ultimate though. 2-3 wants to try and keep himself alive. Here comes the Rook. Ultimate smash, followed by Nai. Oh man, you can't get away from that one, Xanox. 2-3 surely to follow very shortly. 57% health pool still remaining.
Now, it's interesting because I actually feel like Intolerant's composition is very aggressive set. They have Sirius, one of the most aggressive supports out there, and the melee aspect of it kind of makes him divey, makes him all-in-ish. Once you go in, you need to get value out of it before you can decide to retreat, or you need to be hitting counters and purposely cutting off your aggression in order to do so. And then on top of Rook, which is also another very aggressive champion. And then I think Nai, over the times that we have seen Nai play Eva, is very fond of jumping in aggressively and taking position on the map. And I think they're really focusing on just playing good CC with Petrifies and Tasers and utilizing Incapacitate from Rook to set damage up.
It is a pretty projected M2, I'm not going to lie. Now Jolt's got to be careful. He was taking a lot of damage early on. He does rush through, but just misses on the connection. Randler is now going to be able to deal with him pretty handily. Now Jolt's going to turn the attention over to Xanox, who's just going to start tearing through him. But the first orb will go to Intolerant.
The cost of initiation was really expensive on the side of Intolerant, and Jolt's is already down to half. But I think they packed so much of a package here, they could turn it around still, but no, Jolts actually loses a ton of health, and that's going to hold his aggression by an incredible amount.
He's going to have to leave, but his rush does put him in the fray. Immediately, he's going to go right on Xanox, who has his ultimate. He's going to make one connection on the orb. Jolts is going to go down all 3 swipes. Now, Nai's got to be careful. He might get silenced up. Couldn't counter through that, but he will get hit by a nice old ultimate from 2-1-3.
Nai gets donkeyed just a little bit there, and I think he has not long to live in this world. The axe is going to miss, but now I think he's going to be taken down by Randler, and Iska left alone, so they're going to bring up the scoreline to 1-1. And because I'm pretty sure we haven't mentioned it in this broadcast, if there are any new viewers, the format that we run with for the quarterfinals and the semifinals is a win score 3 best of 3 maps. So no matter which team wins this particular map, they will have to go to a second one. You need to win by 2, or rather, no, that's not a correct statement. You need to be the first to get 2 maps on the record.
That is an accurate statement. The second statement was accurate. The first statement, guys, forget you heard it. Inaccurate statement.
Inaccurate statement.
But turning it around now, 1 round to 1, keeping it tight, keeping the competition tight. They're going to try and get Rash with a nice double stun on the back line. Bako's going to try and put the pressure up on Ixa. Does get out of the Petrify. He's going to try and go protect Xanox, who has been brought back to...
oh man, look at Nai from the side.
He was looking good, but not so much. Nai's still going to poke from the side. No hesitation, and they're going to get the first orb again, Intolerant.
Berserk is going to pop on Jolts, and he's going to be able to fight back against Bako. I think something interesting here is now there are enough BattleRekts out for Jolts that he can constantly apply armor break, and that's going to increase their aggressive potential by a lot. There's an incapacitate, and Bulwark gets spent on the side of 2-on-3, 2-on-3, and a lot of pressure might be coming out. Rattler gets cooked. Oh, and the combo is good. So much connection of damage, and that's what we're talking about with the aggression. Oh, Rook gets traded out, though. It's going to be a 2v2 now.
Oh, nothing you can do there. The R is down. There's no more counter. Nine, he can just shred through with that ultimate.
Nice. With the rocket, we'll take the orb out. 2-1. What a back and forth game. I'm actually really liking what I'm seeing out of Eva, Rook, and Sirius. There's so much mobility, so much aggression that they can put on from, they kind of have a large kill zone. Rook has a lot of range with his charge, and he has a lot of setup. Incapacitates on the walls, landing crushing blows, just giving that extra little CC to allow Nai to land maybe a rocket, to land a taser, and then follow up with a stun if they interrupt themselves. And of course, Sirius is really great. Prismatic Strike, Charge Strike is a huge amount of burst damage. I like the way their composition is set up. It just makes a lot of sense to me.
When you think about the potential range that Sirius has at any given moment, if his spacebar's up, he can deal damage to anyone in a pretty big radius around him within a matter of seconds. And now we're going to see them do
Look
a
how
lot.
much damage
2-1-3. But Iska, he's got to be careful. He's taking just as much damage. Him and 2-1-3 trying to battle it out. Jolt is getting pinned to the side. Xanox, look at him. He's looking so healthy. Now it's his ultimate already. The counter won't get procced, but he might pop the ultimate to deal the damage, try and finish off one. He's going to get flamethrowers. Got to be careful.
Here's the butter.
They're trying to hunt him down. Oh, one ultimate, two ultimates. All three jumps from Xanox will get landed.
Really nice conversion on the side of MyCon. They were able to secure the center orb and traded out the early aggression onto 2-on-3, 2-on-3 by putting a lot of damage both onto Nai and Jolts. And then them winning that orb gave them the resources to be able to take the lead. And they ended up being able to finish out a kill, baiting out the escape with Crippling Goo, and then finishing it out with the Varesh ultimate. Well played by MyCon, and it's really a struggle, right? This is what happens when you play fast-paced compositions. You really have to win out the opening struggle. Winning just by a little margin is not quite enough if you don't win out the resource fight, just because it can turn on its head so quick. You're spending a lot of mobility, you're spending a lot of cooldowns being aggressive, that when those resources kick in, you don't have the defensive positioning or the cooldowns to be able to mitigate the damage that's coming out.
Now we're going to see they're going to try and go on Xanox early on before we can get that positioning to land those debuffs and deal the damage in the middle, but Nai's got to be careful, has to jump right back out. Rook goes in but gets Panic back out, and take a look at this control already. Broken Comp posturing up in middle, trying to keep them out. Nai already down to half health, has to get healed up from Meek, so the orb does get pushed and taken by Broken Comp.
So far, very good range play by Xanox. He really opened up this match for his teammates, but he's going to be put into a little bit of pressure here. It's all about how well they can survive and how well they can set themselves up for the next orb. If they get the second orb, I feel like Intolerant is going to be ready to take a ton of damage at that point. Here comes 2-1-3, 2-1-3's ultimate, dunks Jolts, and that does set them up in terms of health to be able to do a lot here, but the counter ultimate from Iska onto Xanox is going to do a ton.
Oh, the Panic, and then the ultimate pinned in the corner. Will Rook be able to get out? He does get countered. He's managed to just eke out of the corner, just slowly, casually walk to the other side of the wall, but to no avail. His teammate goes down first. Can they get a cross kill in time? Before too late, they can!
The timing on the barrier was not quite right.
Oh, there's the weekend too, but the ultimate from Bako's gonna try and hunt Jolt. He just misses. Jolt stays alive.
There's a lot of resources in the pocket on Joltsy's side, but he doesn't have a lot of health. The orb actually does go to them, and every little bit of healing can really help. We know that Rook has a lot of self-healing himself. He's going to pop his counter, not going to get proc, and the healing from Iska is going to try to keep Jolt up. Oh, he tries to jump over the ultimate, but doesn't quite get it. And now it's just Iska alone against Randler and 2-on-3, 2-on-3. I think it's going to go to a 3-2 victory for MyCon in the first map. Ooh, the juke, but not enough. Such a close map here. Just trading back round after round.
Oh, talk really quick on that mechanic, because I know it took me a while to get it. When Sirius spacebar's into an object that he can't actually land in, he'll just come right back where he started. I know when I first started the game, I'm like, I don't understand when he comes back and when he doesn't.
Yes.
But if the moment where you're supposed to kind of materialize, you can't, it doesn't exist, or it's blocked, you just go right back to where you started. But incredible gameplay, bringing it all the way to round 5 to the very end, trading back and forth and back and forth. Both unique team comps we haven't really seen.
I think Xanox did really well there, holding his own on Varesh. It's so interesting because we haven't really seen a lot of compositions with Varesh and a melee character to back him up. We've mostly seen a lot of ranged comps really relying heavily on the ability of a character like Taya or the ability of a character like Jade to provide some assistance to the Varesh in terms of survivability, and then just leveraging the range to zone out your opponents. But in this case with Bako, you do have a little bit of that zoning capability with Bulwark as well as using your charge to push people back, but you're not going to be able to throw a ton of damage. I mean, Morax is actually pretty good in terms of a range damage skill.
Especially a charged one,
Yeah. But it's not going to be as consistent as Ty just slinging boomerangs all day, right? And so I think that composition was interesting, and they executed that really well, and Xanox really made a stake for why Varesh would be in that composition, putting out a ton of damage, getting those silences out. Really impressive.
And then on their opponent's side, you see Rook, Eva, Sirius. Of those three, your easiest target's probably going to be Eva, so we can take a look at one of the replays of what happens when they target her down early on and take her out.
Yeah, I think this is a particular round where they were able to win out the orb despite early aggression on 2-1-3, 2-1-3. Look how low his health is, but the trade was spread damage across multiple members on the side of Intolerant. Crippling Goo will bait out one of the cooldowns, then Varesh goes in and is able to eliminate Nai. And that's really what it means to use your butter efficiently, to use your meter efficiently, right? There's a lot of situations where players will dump ultimates on top of a target and then not be able to actually close out a kill, and so they find themselves, doing pretty okay. They do a good chunk of damage, but they don't actually finish out a kill on an individual. But what ends up happening is now they have no resources, and then your opponents have ultimates, and then they do it, and they're more effective because you have less escapes, no EX. The most popular scenario this happens is to Lucy's, who throw out Crippling Goo, and then they don't have roll, and then the opponent throws Crippling Goo, and then their teammate throws something else onto the Lucy as well, and then you're dead in the water, right? So trading out resources effectively, it's important to think about, okay, if we're going to spend X amount of resources, we need to make sure we make a kill happen, because that situation becomes very different if you can turn it into a 3v2. So,
going into map number 2, we see no comp changes. Everyone's sticking to the champs they start off with, which is what it was expected. Both teams.
Stro doesn't step in. Not sure if he's available today or not. Not sure if he's played today, but they're going to stick with Iska, which could have been one of the adjustments that they might have wanted to make. But perhaps Iska on Sirius is more of a preferable option to them rather than Stro on Uldur.
Especially with a comp like this, all three of them have a very heavy spacebar initiate. They all can just get in immediately, show up whenever they need to. Could be something they maybe bank on. But now we're going to see who can take round number 1 in the second map. MyCon Broken Comp was looking a bit stronger at the moment with 1 point ahead. Jolts goes right in, but his counter won't get... Oh, there it is. His counter does get procced. A lot of healing
from Iska. Iska did really good topping Jolts off, but now it's going to get a little bit chaotic as they all dive in. Tries to land the boulder on Randler. But I think they're going to try to evacuate in order to get the center orb, and Intolerant will secure the first one. Oh, the ultimate from Eva comes out. Chucks Randler real low.
They're just going to hunt him down. Randler, can he get away? He's going to get boulder smash into his spacebar. He's now stuck with Jolt. He might go down, but doesn't matter. His teammate goes down first. Xanox.
All three of the ultimates were so incredibly effective on the side of Intolerant, and 2-1-3, 2-1-3 is going to miss his charge there. And 3v1, not long for this world. Nai opening that up. Randler took a lot of pressure early on, had to spend some cooldowns, didn't have his barrier up. Nai popped the ultimate and was able to get a lot of damage through. And then Jolts popped his ultimate and got a little bit of party shots onto Randler. And then landing that huge combo with the boulder into the charge was just a little too much for Randler to handle. I mean, basically Jolts landed every single ability that he threw out onto Randler. Yeah. And then Iska on the back just frying Xanox with the Sirius ultimate. A lot of pressure coming out. You can't get behind against a composition like this. They have so much aggression and so much pacing.
2-3 trying to push Jolts back, keep him away from Xanox. Trying to appeal for his allies and doing so far successfully. 2-3 does get pushed back. Jolt sees his opportunity. He goes in. He sees Randler. He tries to hunt him down as much as possible. Sirius comes to follow. Nai falling right after. The Petrify will land on 1. But now Randler's got to do his best to try and get away. They're just going to turn their attention to the orb. And Intolerant get orb number 1.
Oh, big CC. Huge amounts of CC. And Iska is going to use his ultimate to try to put a little bit of damage. But it was certainly more effective in the healing department in that moment. But, oh, whoa. That might be a picture-perfect connection. The burst onto Xanox was incredible. They managed to catch him out. I'm not exactly sure what they identified to capitalize on. I wasn't really watching, but Iska comes in, Nai is ready, and Joltz just landed the crushing blow.
Baiting that bulwark out with a charged M1 and canceling out, but Randler now stuck 2v1, hunted down by one. There's no way he's getting out of this. Lucy goes down, and there will go 2-1-3 to follow shortly. That is going to be 2 rounds to none. Intolerant looking strong going into map number 2.
Now remember that if Intolerant is able to close this out, it only ties up the maps 1-1. So it's going to be MyCon, Broken Comp, and Intolerant tied up, and they need to play a final map. But Broken Comp is not out yet. They still have the opportunity to make the comeback happen, and as BattleRekts get filled up, they might be a little more successful. One of the things that we saw out of Joltz was the frequency of armor break increasing as the BattleRekts were picked. But it seems that this time around he's got a different plan. He's got Berserk on Rush, and of course taking the crushing blow stun. I think the Berserk on Rush is incredibly important because that buff is just so difficult to deal with for a lot of characters.
Yep.
And it adds a lot of aggression.
You'll watch him the moment he sees an opportunity to go in on Randler, he will rush right in and just wail as many fish hammer smacks as he possibly can. He's going to try and keep 2-3 out of the fray so we can rush into the back line. 2-3 does body block it, and he's barriered as well, but they're just going to go, oh my god, he's just going to fully charge NR. We're going to see Eva there as well. She will get silenced though, peeled for an ally. Fantastic play by Xanox, and they might get this orb.
Oh my god.
They are just unable to. Intolerant gets the first orb yet again.
Huge loss from the side of MyCon Broken Comp, and the taser is good into the incapacitate. There's a charge stun, and Berserk is propped on Joltz, but now it's going to be Fresh in trouble. Nai with the ultimate, landing so much damage. And the execution is beautiful on the side of Intolerant in this particular map. They're really showing the benefits and the strengths of the composition that they're running. Incredible display.
Fantastic. 3-0 sweep in map number 2. Intolerant.
Look at Joltz's score. Oh, man. He was just really all over. I mean, he had a rough opening. He got caught out by 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and a lot of damage came onto him. But the self-healing on Rook's side is so strong, as well as the fact that Nai and Iska were really able to get in onto Randler, do a ton of damage, and then put Randler in a defensive position, constantly trying to run away. And then the execution on that taser, into the wall incapacity, into the rush stun, that was beautiful. And Nai to follow it up with the ultimate. I just really like how this aggression is coming together. They're really using their abilities with each other, cooperating to give themselves the best effect that they can.
And that's incredibly difficult, especially in the fray of a 3v3. Stuff's going on all over the place. You have CC happening, your allies, Petrify's going out, all sorts of stuff happening. So being able to kind of slow it down in your head and try and follow up each other's abilities with very good succession and timing is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
And well played by a team that's so aggressive. But let's take a look at a quick replay from map number 2. Rook ult actually trying to start the initial damage, followed by just about everything to, I think, finally finish off.
Take a look at this. This is the round where every single one of the ultimates that Intolerant put out was so effective. Randler has to back around the corner, and Rook is not going to get the final shot here, but Randler already takes so much damage, and Rook will land his combo. Just so much pressure when you're landing every single ability that comes out. Randler has no time to look over onto Fresh's end, and Iska just fries him with that ultimate. Meanwhile, Rook is winning out his duel against Randler as well. At that point, when you get hit by an Eva ultimate, get chunked down by 2 hits of the Rook ultimate, and then get hit by the Boulder Charge, and then get hit by the Crushing Blow, I mean, you're basically a target dummy.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do to stop that. And on top of it, all 3 ults were procced, and they made such capitalization on every single one. Eva landed probably a good 40 to 50% of her bullets. Rook landed 2 out of 3 of his fissures. And then we saw Sirius get every single tick mark on Fresh. Xanox just got completely destroyed from that. So that's, as you mentioned right before that map started, having full capabilities of being able to capitalize on all of your energy. Yeah, you're using 100%. Are you getting something worth it? Is the value coming in return? And as we saw right there, all 3 ultimates got significant value.
Definitely, and when it's such a high tempo match, when the aggression is there all the time, it's difficult to kind of reset and kind of have all your cooldowns neatly available to be able to kind of defend yourself against ultimates. In that situation, you're getting pounded down on, and then the orb goes to the opponent's side, and you're still having to run away from the aggression in the neutral game. And then the ultimates come in, and then you're really in trouble, right? Yeah. Randler was just running. He couldn't do anything else. He was just running away, and even still he died.
I really like Sirius Ultimate that it actually heals allies and damages enemies all in a single beam of horrifying light.
Of horrifying...
Constellations confluence.
Yeah.
What a great phrase to shout before you do something.
We should probably shout that when we go to like a drive-thru or something.
Just Constellations confluence or something else?
Yeah, Constellations confluence.
Constellations confluence.
We could twist the wording around to, you know, fit the activities that we're participating in.
Yes. I don't know how to do that though. Like food and stomach coming together.
What
something.
is chat doing?
I'm not lying, chat. You gotta stop this garbage. This is terrible. It's not even a good meme.
Where's the red button?
There's nothing cool about this. How do I ban you guys? I'm not even a mod. Oh, rip.
Oh, God.
Rip. All right, well, let's get to something interesting on like our chat right now. Let's go to game. You guys are terrible. Give me something good. At least if you're gonna meme it, make it a good meme. It's that terrifying Joltsy emote followed by just 8%. Oh, God. I'm on your side, Fareem. EU chat. EU chat, not like this. Tied 1 map to 1 map. Intolerant and Broken Camp. Sorry. Gonna find themselves in the 3rd map. The 3rd and final. Bulwark encounter.
Oh.
Both baiting each other out, and there's gonna be a Petrify. But take a look at that. Xanox on Freya now. Gonna try and turn the aggression back on their opponents.
Pretty high value clarity coming out from Randler. Was able to dispel CC as well as take away armor break. And now a double Petrify is gonna go push momentum back to Broken Comp's direction.
Oh, whoa! When did that happen? 2-1-3 just got melted.
They were trying to find footing in the game, and I figured that the CC coming out from Broken Comp's side might have helped them a little bit, but they just took so much damage in the meantime. And Randler being zoned out by the early aggression from Jolts and Nye, or rather Iska pushing him, kind of prevented Randler from effectively mitigating damage. I think it's difficult for Randler 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and Xanox to find good positioning to defend themselves against the aggression that's being thrown out from Intolerant, just because they are so mobile. Jetpack is a very far-reaching mobility skill, as well as Iska's displacement. And having Jolts be such a tanky individual means that he can dive in and break apart the formation on the side of Broken Comp. And you see situations where Iska will then push Randler away. And when you're that distance away, there's no chance that you're going to land any healing flasks onto your teammates.
And the moment Rook jumps in, you have to worry about 2 things. His massive M2, which 2-1-3 has actually done a great job of bulwarking. Because as it is in AoE damage, they have recently changed it, relatively recently changed it, to be reacted to as a single ability or like an M1.
Yes.
Like an attack, right? So you can counter it, you can hit it with a bulwark, stuns him. You also have to worry about his counter. So you can't just lay into him as soon as he shows up. Because Jolt's doing a good job of reading his opponents and knowing when they're about to lay everything into him. Clarity Potion does kind of wrap that up, but Randler has to be careful as when they hunt him down, he's got to use that Clarity Potion for safety as well. But now we're going to see who's going to get the first initiation. 2-1-3 does dodge the boulder, but Jolt dodges the jump as well. Now we're going to see, their support is petrified.
Bulwark. Nice from 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and that's the zoning that we were talking about. Use the Bulwark to defend Randler against a rush. But still, so much aggression. The Taser does actually stun up Randler, and that's going to give some momentum over to Intolerance, and a lot of barriers and shields coming out, though.
Oh, man. Take a look at this. Iska's now getting hunted down. Now we're going to see 2-1-3 and Xanox.
There's a serious ultimate coming out, but he will get incapacitated. There's a cross incapacitate from Jolts. The panic flash from Randler to try to follow up the CC, and now Jolts is just pounding down on Randler. So much damage, and there's no panic flash to get him off.
Oh, what a bulwark. Made her cancel that, and she lost all the energy. She wasn't able to capitalize on the ultimate.
Double incapacitate.
Oh my, landing so much on that ultimate. Whoa! Way to turn it around. Jolt, an incredible ultimate dealing damage to everybody, but he gets cross-killed, and now it's a 2v2.
Oh, Taser is going to get bulwarked, and that's a big cooldown down on the side of Intolerant, but they do have center or positioning. 2-1-3, 2-1-3, not able to snatch that away. It's a low health situation for MyCon Broken Comp. They really need to figure out which target they're going to go for and capitalize on that. The bulwark comes out just in time. We'll get the stun. Nice from Xanox on the connection. Wall bang into the killing blow. Sick.
Oh, just missed the end cap. The cannonball bouncing right back on the ground. She does have the range on these two, but they can close that gap at any given time. Oh,
nice.
Just like that.
They turned it around from a 2v3 situation. Jolts in the 3v1 had a huge ultimate and was able to finish out the kill on Randler, but then the skilled mechanical execution from 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and Xanox was able to secure them 2 kills in both the 2v3 and the 2v2 situation, and then close it out in the 1v2. I really have to such precision play from Xanox's end, capitalizing off of 2-1-3, 2-1-3. CC was able to wall bang, I can't remember if it was Iska, I believe, wallbang Iska, get the incapacity, and that was enough to get the final killing blow. Iska has the capabilities to heal himself. If he got away, he would have been able to top off and reset the situation. But Xanox was not having any of it.
We're trying to look at the effective damage that last Jolt ultimate did. It hit nearly everybody for every single fissure.
Oh!
Oh my!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, I'm nauseous. I'm nauseous from watching that. Completely mulched. Absolutely destroyed. Nothing you can do about it. Now 2-3. Oh, they have to be broken. You have to be broken after watching your teammate get just vaporized.
Too much, too quick. There goes 2-3.
Holy hell.
If they were just going ham, playing the bongos on the top of Randler's head, that was the Mongo bongos right there.
That was a Mongol combo. Just straight Mongol.
You know what? I like this. We talked about last week how Europe has their playstyle has been so different for a long time, right? They've definitely been aggressive, but they certainly have not been serious Rook aggressive. You know, we've seen Rook play, but that was in the hands of 2-1-3, 2-1-3. And for all that I've seen from 2-1-3, 2-1-3, he's a measured, calculated player. He's precision striking. He will kill you with a wet noodle. That's kind of the specialty of 2-1-3, 2-1-3. He will outplay you for all 3 minutes of the game
with a
2
wet
minutes
noodle.
plus overtime. Yeah, with a wet noodle. He's like Jackie Chan fighting people with an umbrella, fighting people with daggers and guns with an umbrella. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's 2-1-3, 2-1-3. So far, Jolts has just been going ham with the partnership of Nye and Iska. They've been able to get in and just wreck fools, and it's been refreshing to see Europe adopting this kind of play style of putting out more damage, something unique.
Intolerant 1 round away from knocking out MyCon. Broken comp, sorry. Can they stay alive and win this next one and bring it to game 5? We're going to see Jolts in the back, putting as much pressure. He does miss an in-cap on Randler. And the rush. He gets the M2, but he's missed a lot of abilities. And in the meantime, Nye's taking a lot of damage.
Randler is nearly out of healing flasks. He's now just being able to recover a few. But if there's any connection on the side, and it might be onto Xanox. Good clarity from Randler. And Jolts is going to whiff his rush. That's actually a big cooldown, and he's really out of position. He needs to mount his way back in. Counters a panic flask. That's huge. And the clarity potion down again. Here comes Rook Ultimate. Might be able to do a ton of damage. 2-1-3, 2-1-3 gets out of the way. Xanox misses his counter. Jolts is well positioned to do something big, but they need to do it before Nye falls.
Oh, Nye might go down before 2-1-3 does. Looking so low, but just gets healed up by Iska. There's the end cap, though. The wallbang does happen, and now Xanox wants to try and hunt him down. They see Nye in the back. He's got a big target on his forehead. There's another end cap. Just looking for that opportunity. The bulwark has been baited. Uh-oh, his space bar is now 2. He has to dash out. He's got nothing left, and they know it, but he does have an ultimate. Can he snipe Nye in the back? Will he see it coming? They want to get that space bar out. 2-1-3 knows he can finish him off. There's one ultimate. He gets pulled in. That orb is still going to go to Intolerant.
Wow, 2-1-3, 2-1-3 needs to run. He nearly got his butt burnt by the flame.
Oh, there's the ultimate. Comes out, deals a lot of damage to Iska. Gets kept alive.
Oh, Iska
might go down, stuck in there, but at the same time, Xanox is caught.
Oh my god, they hit his counter, and that gave Iska the ticket he needed to get out of there. So low are the health levels on both teams. Oh, the orb will go to Intolerant. They have to beat on his sped.
Iska uses it.
What a close match. Oh, double counters.
This is so stressful.
Gonna proc. How are they going to close this out? They need a connection.
Baited the bulwark out. There's the M2, but he spaces over it.
There's no more mobility.
He needs help. He needs heals. There's the barrier.
Oh, no. Xanox is going to dive in and try to buy some space from 2-1-3, 2-1-3, but gets incapacitated on the wall. It might be over. The counter. It gets proc, but he jumps the left click.
He's protected just long enough. 2-1-3. Another Broman from him.
Oh, my God.
How does he do it? No, he goes down to an M2 and an ultimate.
There it is, finally on Iska's end, was able to cook 2-1-3, 2-1-3. What an insane series here, and I think Intolerant is going to be able to close it out. 2-1, going to defend Broken Comp, or rather going to defend their tournament life here against Broken Comp, and Randler is just going to cook himself in the darkness and depression.
Darkness and depression. Intolerant must have some ripped butt cheeks, because that was some clenching moments right there. They must be just shredded.
Look at the protection on the side of Iska. 974.
What? That's disgusting. That's actually disgusting.
Take a look at these stats, man.
Just barely making it.
with the 913 score average over the whole series there.
Talk about a support. Talk about a bro.
Iska doing real well in Sirius. And we mentioned that there weren't a lot of Siriuses in the European region, just as there weren't a lot of compositions that were about damage and pushing in. And,